Hello, everyone. Welcome to season 4, episode 4 of Deploy the Garrison. I'm your host, Kris, and this week we're going to be talking about activations and how to, what units are good to start your game and how we kind of flow from there. And Alan's going to be telling us all about his games, aren't you, Alan? Yeah, yeah, games?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, games,
Oh,
definitely. Games if
oh
I had them.
man. He's so mad I threw him under a bus immediately. Oh,
No
so mad.
introduction, just under the bus, straight under the
Yep.
bus. Oh boy. Yeah, it's no, I haven't gotten a chance like I listening back to our episodes, I keep hearing like, "Oh, it's been such a busy week. It's been such like it's just a busy season of work." You know,
Yeah.
not to sound
Oh,
like a
it's
broken
good.
record, but it's still true.
I mean, the thing that really got to me was when I played that game. When I spoke about it, not last show, the show before. I played a
Mhm.
game and I was like, "Is this really my first game of 2025?" And we've been doing a Legion podcast, and I just hadn't played an actual game of Legion. I was like, "Oh, am I just bad at this?"
Yeah,
Turns out, yeah, but hey,
we're in good
hey ho.
company. Like this, the Sapcast guys have a couple of people that just don't play for 6 months at a time. It's fine.
Well, as the officers' mess will show, I got 2 games in, so we've got some Legion to talk about. And
There you go.
then I think this will be an interesting topic for a main topic, and I've got some controversial takes to kind of balance that out. So me and Alan may come to blows. If it turns out that that topic could have been a main topic all on its own, I apologize, but we'll see. We're still going to keep it to a 1 hour runtime. So we have our officers' mess. We're going to be going over. Alan, you starting a new league?
Yeah, yeah. We're starting the league earlier in the spring, as we were coming out of hibernation locally, and as we were getting ready to come into new version of Legion, new edition, stuff like that. Um, people are started asking, "Hey, are we doing tournaments again?" This, that, and the other. So I put a poll up, and the winner was doing a league as opposed to anything else, and then followed by a recon tournament or a skirmish tournament, just a smaller tournament that we can knock the rust off, come meet up and play and stuff like that. So I shifted the order just a little bit. Just to kind of get the interest jump started, we did the recon tournament beginning of May. That was a great success. Everybody had a good time, and then I've been working on getting the league groundwork done very slowly because again, work has been insane. Um, but AMG also dropped this nice little league packet for me to use, and
Yeah.
so we're going to be doing a escalation league over the summer.
For my officers' mess, I managed to play a couple of games of Legion. I'm not going to go super detailed into the flow of the games because I have been writing them up as part of my this week in hating dice articles. There should be like mini battle reports in those where I cover them, and they come out every Sunday on dice8.com, so you can catch up there if you want a more detailed analysis of the game. But I've been hitting my Wookiee defenders Battleforce list pretty hard still. I'll quickly run that down. It's Yoda with Force Reflexes, Force Barrier, so relatively cheap, 185 points for my little murder gremlin. I've got Chewbacca with Tenacity and Protector. At the ranged Wookiees are Kashyyyk Defenders with Bowcaster, Offensive Push, and Targeting Scopes. I've got a unit of Noble Fighters with a Bowcaster. I have 3 units of Noble Fighters with Battle Shields, and then 3 Fluttercraft with the NASP Gunners, which are still some of my favourite units to use. We were saying off earlier, like the using Yoda and the Fluttercraft, I really enjoy. It's very when it all comes together and you piece those like the compulsory move into your positioning and your butt shots, all of that
Yeah,
stuff. It's just great.
so it's
Um,
very gratifying to
yeah,
get it all lined up and get it working well.
yeah, and like I can't talk enough about how fun the Yoda Chewie combo is. I struggle to put Yoda in a list and not find the points for Chewbacca, just because size matters sometimes is such a fun card to use. Every time I
Mm,
play it against someone who not hasn't played against me before, it's something they don't see coming and they don't kind of expect those repositions. I had a game, the last game that I played was against some Separatists, and he'd saved the activation and measured it all out so that I couldn't get into combat with, I think it was just it was a tactical droid with T series,
mhm.
and he just did his move, but positioned him to just be within the half range of the objective on the other side. I was like, okay, well, in
Sure.
that case, I'm going to activate Chewbacca twice, move. Oh, I can't make it into combat with you. I can't shoot you. Now I'm going to activate Yoda, and he's going to guidance Chewie to make him move. And Chewie doesn't quite make, but then you place Yoda, and oh, look, Yoda's in combat with you now. Well, best start chopping.
Evo.
Yeah. Turns out 3 speed 2 moves is fairly quick for the little murder gremlin. He does well.
Sure is.
Um,
Sure
I
is.
I love it. And it's so much fun to use the card, and it gets Chewbacca at a lot of awkward positions, suddenly rolling red defense dice with with
With
deflect. You
deflect,
know,
yeah.
yeah. What's not to love?
It's a little
Um,
shield generator.
yeah. So my first game was against Sam Page running. It was a 501st Battleforce. I think I messaged you about 501st because I hadn't looked at them because I was looking at selling my guard before I moved. I ended up keeping a bunch. I just sold everything that was still in box. But 501st, that update to Battleforce? Wow. I,
It's
I
yeah,
yeah, I didn't realize. I knew that they'd added Ahsoka, but
sure.
wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've got ARF troopers as well, commandos. They just get all of the fun stuff.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
ARFs and Ahsoka are the new ones. They had commandos in the last go round. And so that it was kind of a discussion on, do you do 50 first with Anakin to get more arcs, or do you do just a regular list with Anakin and then you do 3 arcs and
3 and 3.
commandos?
Yeah,
Yeah, but because you're limited to 2, but man, having commandos being added to 501st gave it a whole new dynamic because in the full army, you must bring 1 to 2 support. So you have to have a support of some kind. When your only options for
yeah,
ATRT and bark speeders, it's kind of whatever. But commandos are they're still really
yeah,
good. And
yeah.
it kind of
They are
unlocks
good.
that battle force.
Yeah, it was pretty nice, but we played. It was closer pocket, and sweep and clear was a secondary. But he prepared positioned Anakin onto my right hand flank and placed the commando token on my right hand flank, which was like, nope, not going anywhere near that. So everyone
No,
else
thank you.
came on my left flank, and then he put some stuff there, and I'm like, fuck man, if you want to put your army on the left flank to face me now, and I don't have to fight Anakin and those commandos for a couple of turns, I'm all in. And he
Yep.
kind of evenly balanced, and I only brought my Fluttercraft. I brought him on as far left of my right flank as I could, and just skirted and shot and kind of trimmed down one of his arc units there, whilst the rest of my army was fighting another 2 units of arcs on my left flank. And in both of my games against Republic, I've done nothing but focus down arcs. Just put every bowcaster shot, every bit of meaningful fire into them,
Hmm.
and because they've got teeth, right? And they've got those commando saves, the Mando save. When you've got the surge tokens from everywhere, they've got impervious. They're pretty resilient. And
Sure.
Sam's list had 5 medics in it, so you've
Oh,
got to deal with that as well.
jeez. And they were on the
Um,
arcs too, I imagine.
Yeah, it was 3 arcs with medics and 3 units of clone troopers. 2 of them had medics.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was a lot. And, yeah, I was saying, like, you kind of shoot the way I played it in this game was I tried to split and pull his medics in different directions. So I had the Photocraft chipping down a unit on the right flank, and my Wookiee, like Chewie, and my other 2 bowcasters trying to chip down a unit on the other flank, and just like, look, you can heal one of them really, really well, or both of them a little bit. You're not
Right.
going to get to heal both of them really well,
Right.
and yeah, and I feel like there's that potential to like put 1 or 2 shots in and then start trying to chip down something else. But I think you just go all in on the arcs, just keep shooting the arcs until they're dead, and then you can't medic them anyway, so it's fine.
Yep.
Yeah,
Can't medic if the unit's gone.
yeah, it's easy, right? I've rolled my Mando saves; they die all the time, so it's fine. Um, but yeah, that game ended um, because Anakin got tempted, and yeah,
Uh
I
oh.
I chipped a wound onto him with a Fluttercrux. I think it advanced into a center. So I gave up the center for a
Sure.
turn because I knew I wasn't be able to get enough stuff. So I put 2 Fluttercraft there to force him to have to position 2 units onto it, which was Ahsoka and Anakin is what he chose. But
Right.
that meant at the start of the following turn, Anakin was then out of range of backup. Um, and a bunch of other like random things. They didn't have any tokens yet. So I was like, okay, I'll take a cheeky shot with my Fluttercraft. Got a crit. He failed his save. Like, cool. That's fine by me.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, I managed to wipe out a phase two. Sorry, a clone trooper unit. And they looked like phase two to me, but that's not what
Right.
it's called anymore. I
Right.
wiped out, and he got tempted to and moved him into the center. What is it with you? With command card for Anakin, where if he attacks a unit that's already activated,
Oh, he gets like extra dice or something.
yeah, he gets
Yeah.
6 extra white dice or something crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh look, I've activated this Fluttercraft. Do you want to hit it with your lights? Oh, poor Anakin. Oh, I've activated another Fluttercraft. Oh, I'd activate the units like really far out.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
creeping in, and I had Yoda with size matters not in play. So I had Yoda. I was thinking I was going to have to counter Anakin's charge with Yoda,
Sure.
but it turns out he just moved close and he put him down. I'm like, I think my Wookiees can now charge Anakin. So I ran him in,
Yeah.
got the charge off onto Anakin. It was move. So I had no extra support for like
Yeah.
aims or anything like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's 8 dice.
Sure.
Like, and there's battle shield in there, so it's 2
Yeah.
red. Um, got 4 wounds onto Anakin.
So he's down to 1 now. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Um, no, sorry, he took 1 wound, so he was at 4.
He's
They had
oh,
2
he's
left, I
at
think.
4. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Got it.
sorry. Yeah, that was
Still.
my imprecise language there. Um, and then it was back. He had the command token, obviously, the order token on Anakin.
Uh-huh.
I was like, well, if he swings now to activate the units to engage with, yes, he'll do a lot of damage, but that
But
opens
he's
up
there.
space for my other unit of Wookiees.
Yes.
So it was like, okay, the only out I have here is to fish for Ahsoka so she can jump and block the base to base contact to
Sure.
stop the Wookiees getting in. Basically, it was fishing, like, I think it would have been 2 tokens to 4. So about a, a, a 33% chance. He had improvised, so a little bit better than 50-50 when you do the odds, I think, of
Sure.
keeping one out, pulling again. Um,
Yep.
and he missed it. So he activated he got a
Oh.
core unit into another core unit, which was terrible. then my other unit of Wookiees charged in, and that avalanche of angry meatballs just yeah. It was the range unit, so it was 4 black, 4 white, but I got like 3 or 4 hits and just
Yeah.
steamrolled through him. Yeah, it was, and
Oof.
that it was like, ooh, yeah, Wookiees, it's just weight of
Don't look,
dice,
kids.
no Jedi.
The
Yeah,
Wookiees are just ripping arms off.
yeah. Um, and so at that point, I was behind still in the game. I would have been ending that turn. I think it would have been 7-6, but I
Mm.
would have killed all 3 units of arcs, 1 unit of clone troopers, and Anakin.
Oh,
And
that's a
my
good
only
spot to
losses,
be in.
yeah, my losses were 1.5 Watercraft and like 3 Wookiees across my entire army.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, I had he got the ARC troopers charged into a unit of Wookiees.
Uh-huh.
They're 10 dice, 10 black dice into them, 8 hits, 4 saves, just non-surging. Don't even need my surge tokens.
Just
Oh,
no Wookiee
just
saves.
yeah,
It's just like, "That's fine."
yeah, yeah. White non-surging saves. What are you gonna do?
Oh my
I
gosh.
so there might have been a touch of hot rod in that game. It's okay. It was a sight to behold. My Fluttercraft were high rolled on defense as well. I think it was
Sure.
probably by the time he got rid of the first one, it was probably 2 activations deeper than he should have been.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because he shot once, but then I managed to get another dodge token on it because it didn't die. So then he added another dice pool into it, which couldn't say my dodge token.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yep.
you know what I mean? If it had died when it should have, he would have had 2 extra activations to use throughout the game. But
Sure.
I was like, I'm just happy to see them because normally my photograph died to 6 hits.
Oh, sure. Just immediately, like,
Yeah, just
full to
yeah.
death,
I'm like,
gone.
I'm
Alright.
pretty sure that a rerollable 5 foot save from my days of playing Eldar Guardians with Fortune, a rerollable 5 up save is better than 50%. But it's like 52 point something, I think. This is like memory. It's
Yeah.
slightly better than 50% of if you roll them and then re-roll the ones that fail. You should pass
Sure.
just over half.
Right.
But yeah, normally I'm like batting pretty low averages. But yeah, they did really well that game. They tanked. The commando shot them, and an ARC trooper unit got a shot off at him before it died. And yeah, so we called that game because it was feels bad, man. It was let's see what Ahsoka can
Yeah.
do when she
Yeah.
activated. She jumped into the Wookiees who'd murderized Anakin, did like 2 damage.
Oh,
Um,
no. Oh, no.
yeah, at that point it was like, yeah, whatever. It just yeah, it was
This
pretty bad. Um, and then my next game was against a list very close to what we discussed for Separatists at the tail end of
Oh,
last
sure.
year.
Mhm.
Only he was running Dooku instead of the second unit of Aquas. I
Oh,
think I
okay.
was looking
Yep.
at doing one of the either. I think I was looking at Kraken. I can't remember
Okay.
exactly which one, but yeah, it was Dooku as the commander with a T series. Um, then 4 units of B1s.
Mhm.
Um, 3 of them had rad cannons, 1 of them had a sniper. And
Interesting. Okay.
Wookiees don't like rad cannons, I'll tell you that much for free.
I Okay. Yeah. That's not surprising.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, oh look, you only did 2 wounds. Oh, it dies when I activate him. Oh, um,
Yep.
but yeah, what was interesting. Rad cannons, they got full value that game. Then
So,
a
question. So if the rad cannon, it destroys a Wookiee at the beginning of the thing, like, that counts as a Wookiee being destroyed? Do you get your free
No, because it was the last model in the unit.
Oh, well.
But you
Okay, got it.
I'm gonna move this Wookiee to contest the object. Oh, if I move him now,
And
he
he'll
dies.
he j yeah, got it. Never mind.
Yeah. Um, dead Wookiees everywhere. No, then he had is it reinforced terminology? Is it reinforced unit of B2s? I can't remember. What's the proper terminology for it? The double-sized B2 unit.
Oh, it's just the squad. It's a B2
Uh,
squad upgrade.
yeah,
So it's the double size B2.
yeah. Which again, we know I'm a fan of from my experimental droid days.
But are
And
you a
no
fan
heavy in it
playing
though.
against it?
I mean, it was irrelevant. Well, as we'll get to, I played this one pretty badly, but
Ah.
we'll get there. On the table, I feel I did okay, but I kind of lost in turn 0 on this one. Not the
Mm.
spoilers. Um, yeah, then it was the package that I really like of 2 crabs, 1 spider, and
Yep.
and 1 unit of aquas.
Sure.
So his scouting party went to Dooku and the B2s,
Yep.
which was interesting. In my head, I'd not really considered Dooku for the list,
Mhm.
um, but yeah, it was a lot, and it felt like it was going to be a tough matchup. Just a lot of armor, and I'm like, yeah, I can reliably do 1 wound to the spider and the crabs, but they all had
Sure.
defensive protocols. So they gain
Mm.
outmaneuver and nimble.
Yep.
So turn 1, he had advanced what is the dodgy one? Advanced intel? No, cunning deployment.
Cunning deployment. Yep.
So all
Oh,
3
so
of
you
them
just
got a
gotta
dodge
keep
talk.
all the dodges. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's like my fluttercraft. I wanted to get rid of the flamethrower first from the spider
Sure.
because it had some
Absolutely.
more. I just start hitting that. And I think I over-indexed on it because it put my
Mm.
fluttercraft in a bad position, and we were
Sure.
doing surface scan, and I put the scanners on the fluttercraft.
Okay.
Which, given how the game turned out, and my want to play him aggressively, it was the incorrect choice. It should have been the beacon should have been on 2 of the battle shield units who are just going to sit outside my because we played recover with research, so the
Yep.
points of interest are kind of outside your deployment zone anyway.
Right.
So could have put it on 2 units who were just going to move up, shield down, and just sit there, and
Right.
then they'd rack up the passive scoring and be contesting 2 objectives, kind of thing.
Right. Yep.
But I put it on the photocraft, and then my photocraft was a legend. I tanked a hell of a lot, and I kind of like I threw it into a position where it was had to die,
Sure.
but to kill it, he was going to have to like completely stall his advance because all of the weapons on the spiders and the crabs are front arc. So I flew past him. So I committed to dying because I'm now trapped in his table corner on my right
Sure.
flank. I had no way out of him flying over his aquas and crabs and B1s and everything. So he's got me pinned in. I've got no routes to go, but he has to turn the crabs to face me, which will kind of slow his advance. And he sent the aquas, and I lived on 1 wound, which
Oh,
got me. That was the one where I activated again and then got an extra dodge token again, so that when the
sure.
next unit shot me, I've got 1 wound, but I passed the cover save, then dodged 1, and
Yep.
I'm still alive, and it just kept soaking up activations.
Sure.
But yeah, the second it went down, I stopped then scoring the secondary,
Right.
and then yeah, I managed to kill the spider eventually. I got it down
Mhm.
before it activated in turn 2. And I did all the kills I got were on units he hadn't activated yet. So it felt like it was a really tight, close game.
Sure.
right up until he killed my second photograph that had the objective token on it because I had to push him out to contest the 4 points at this
Yep.
stage of the game.
Yep.
And then he just unloaded the B2s onto it. He average rolled for B2s. I average rolled for the photocraft, and it was still dead
Yep.
because the dice pool was that big, right?
Yep.
I think I had 2 or 3. I think I had 4 wounds left, so I wasn't broken yet.
Right.
So on averages, I should die to a full unit of B2s shooting me with 2 aim tokens, and I think it had Surge from the T series. It's Exemplar, right?
Either exemplar or bolster or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, it went down, and then his B2s were one of his scanner squads. So he scored with 2 points from the secondary for being close to my scanner.
Yep.
And that made the differential. Going into turn 4, it was 7 points to 9. And we
Mm.
kind of assessed the tables, but I was like, there's no way I can stop you from contesting 3. I can stop
Right.
you from contesting 4.
Yep.
I can kill up, and I can still contest 4, but you can contest 3, which will get you 2 points. And then I cannot kill the B2s and Dooku. Because
Who are
I'd
holding their scanners.
Yeah, I'd low
Yeah.
rolled my. I had 2 units of Wookiees in combat with Dooku, um, and I'd only had 1 wound on him, which he med droided off, which I then put a
Sure.
wound back onto him. But it meant in the
Yep.
following turn, I was highly unlikely because the med droid's capacity 2, so he had 1 heal left in the tank. I wasn't going to kill Dooku and the B2s, even with Yoda and Chewie into them. So
Yep.
it was impossible for me to stop him from winning. So he kind of called. I think my exact wording was, "If I do win this game, I didn't earn it, so I don't want to."
Yeah. 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 It's
Yeah,
like we talked last time. It's the games where it's nice when a game is very clear. Okay, I lost because of this, or if I won, it's just like there's something weird
yeah.
going on.
So like, the real interesting part about this entire conversation about that game too is that
Hmm.
I deliberately left it as recover research
Hmm.
with surface scans. I'd not played that combo, and it's in my deck. So I passed
Sure.
twice to play this.
Yep.
And I was back and forth on how I was going to approach it, and I thought like recovery research is good for me because I want to be pushing onto objectives. I like an aggressive play style. I like playing the Wookiees
Sure.
aggressively,
Yep.
but I think there isn't anything that can sit back and contribute. So I
Right.
don't have like the cheap unit, but I can if I leave a unit of Wookiees, even like the unit of a bowcaster can take a 2 dice, a red white pot shot at range 3 at something and sit
Yep.
on an objective, but that's 100 points.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's not a 50-point unit I'm leaving behind. I'm leaving a significant investment,
Yep.
and yeah, it doesn't. I really struggled to feel like I was having a mutual support. A forced position in that game, the first time ever, I played one of the Wookiee command cards.
Hmm.
My second activation, I played the 1 pip Wookiee card, so I could
Sure.
order the Fluttercraft because I needed, it gives you the surge, dodge, and aim token if you're
Yeah.
wounded, and I had 2 wounds left on it.
Sure.
So I needed it to live, like, I needed it to tank as much as possible. So I played the only command card of Yoda's I played was Luminous Beings in turn 1. I never played another Yoda command card that game.
Mm.
No.
Because
Yeah.
you had to use your Wookiee cards.
Yeah, so I used the Wookiee card and then I used Chewbacca's to give me the best reposition because the only other option was to use size matters not to give Yoda charge, but even then, the distance I need to cover, it would have only been 1 attack. So it was more beneficial for him to take Chewie with him with guidance, and that would have
Right.
left me with size matters not for turn 4 or 5.
Sure.
But well, you know what I mean. It didn't matter in the end. Um,
Yep.
and yeah, it was solid play. It was really tight list. I do like Dooku in it. I think that it offers. I mean, it's a Star Wars game. Lightsabers are fun, but
Right.
number one, that's a huge win, right?
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
um, but I don't know that you lose anything by going down to one unit of Aquas and Dooku, because yeah, you're losing one chunky unit of armor, but you've
Well, it's
already
also the
got.
line of sight blocking too, right?
Well, I agree, but you do have crab, spider, and 4 aquas. So
Sure.
if you need 4 more like, yes, it's nice, but d does
It seems
having Dooku to be line of sight blocked may be
sure.
better than having another line of sight blocker to block Kraken.
Sure. Yeah, I suppose that's fair. Um, my analog is at Worlds I played someone who was similar. It was two aquas, two crabs, a spider, and then he had two I think two regular B2 squads instead of the double-sized single squad, and then he had 2 or 3 regular B1 squads with Dooku, and I think he had Kalani rather than Kraken, but I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean that and we played Close the Pocket though, so it was a much more concentrated game, so as opposed
Mm.
to, the more spread out game that you get with Recover the
I mean, I'm
Research.
not I'm not gonna fight you too hard because that was all kind of list that I made, and I feel like I'm really clever and smart, right? So I agree that I'm probably right, but there's a chance that I may have underestimated the versatility of having Dooku in there, you know?
Sure,
I'm not
sure.
saying I might have been wrong per se, but,
Uh-huh,
maybe
uh-huh.
maybe other people can also be right.
Ah, interesting. Varying degrees of correctness, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and
I
also Dooku did get to do all of his fun things of, like, I'm gonna force push here, I'm gonna force choke that guy, I'm gonna
Yep.
lightsaber these dudes and force lightning out of
Lightning
combat.
villains. Yep.
Yeah, so you take 14 suppression, this person takes 28 suppression over here. So
Yep.
he got the Dooku turn off, so he got to live his dream.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
maybe I'll pick
wonder
up Dooku. Maybe.
yeah, Dude is pretty cool.
Is he in hard plastic?
Mm, not yet.
Oh, well, maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll not pick it. Maybe I'll get a second unit of Aquas for now. They only have 1.
Yeah. Um, I wonder if it's better to switch off of Recover the Research, for your list, just
I think
because
so, yeah.
I think your Wookiees want to try and concentrate their force in 1 or 2 areas rather than spreading out. Like I originally in my ATSD list, it's the same type of thing. I'd rather have my opponent's army concentrated in one area that I can focus all of my stuff on, focusing my ATSDs. I think your list wants to do the same thing, but for probably slightly different reasons, just because the Wookiees all want to concentrate in one area, whereas I want everybody to concentrate for ATSD targets.
Yeah.
I had Recover Researcher initially because it's just like, well, the ATSTs can cover a wide area. They can each cover 3, and then I just have to put my other dudes on another one. But it ended up spreading out my opponent's army too much as well, and so I didn't have a good chance to, you know, kill a lot of things, and so I got rid of it.
Yeah, I think that's it. We can do another ad read if you like, and then move on.
Sure.
So what I actually wanted to do, because we still don't have advertisers yet, so we're going to thank the patrons. So uh, I, j- I'll let you. I'll do 4 of the patrons, and you can thank the last one. Okay. So thanks to
Okay.
Jono, Adam, Peter, and Ben. Your support means a lot. Alan, do you want to thank the last patron?
Sure. I'm here.
Thanks, Alan.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So thanks for
it's just one of those things I just I guess I keep forgetting to turn off. Wait, no, okay, sorry. Oh, that out loud. No. No, that's how I got my foot in the door. Not to say that that letter hasn't
it's
been pulled up, but
it's fine. I won't cancel your podcasting appearances.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's not how appearance fees are supposed to work, Alan.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
It's supposed to go the other way. But no,
Oh, I'm doing it wrong.
in all seriousness, thanks for all the patrons. It does help cover some of the costs of keeping this going, which in these interesting times that we're living in, I really appreciate. So thank you, everybody. And yeah, we can move on to a main topic. We're going to talk about units that are good for the early activations of the game. I feel like there's a couple of different ways of approaching these early activations. You have the
Sure.
ones that are just cheap. So
Yep.
like, if you have the naked corpse units, right? The B
Yep.
ones with basically nothing. But what
Sure.
the activations that are literally just there to make the bag feel fuller.
Yep.
That's what you just kind of, I'm gonna go for this, gonna go for this. And yeah, they are good, but I feel like it's too obvious to kind of talk about. So I wanted to look at the other units that I like to activate. So as saying, obviously we have my Wookiee units. I like to do my battle shields as early as possible
Sure.
because I can. I'm going to be moving them anyway, and I kind of plan the route through a table because it doesn't really matter where your opponent comes on for a battle shield unit because you're not looking at the lines of fire. You're
Right.
looking at where my movement and where is my cover going to be. So this is a corridor I need to move down. This is how fast I
Sure.
want to move down it. So
Yep.
it where you put your stuff doesn't really dictate where I put my stuff.
Right.
And you've got
Yeah.
that into play. Then in the Shadow Collective, that's the word I was struggling for, reaching for the other faction I was going to talk about next. I don't mind, depending on the setup, bringing on a unit of Mandos early
Mhm.
because you can move them, they move fast, and you can get them
Sure.
into a really safe position to threaten because they're so fast. And they can reposition quickly. So that's where you get to like your speeders, everything like that. The the argument is obviously they're better to bring on last because
Yeah.
you can put them where they can apply fire.
Yep.
My counterpoint would be that if you misdeploy them, they can reposition easier. If you misdeploy if I mess up deploying Yoda because I guess wrong to where you're gonna go, or you're reacting to me having brought Yoda on, it's a
Sure.
lot hard. I've got to put a lot more investment into moving Yoda because it's speed
Yep.
one.
Yep. Yeah, same with like Vader or
Yeah,
any
yeah,
of the Speed
Vader's the
1
same.
core.
Yeah, Dark Troopers are the same. Obviously, you don't want to have to burn something I want just to get them into a fight. If you
Right.
can deploy them well, it's going to be better for you.
Right.
So it goes into what kind of game you're playing, right? If you're going to be trying to push the pace of a game, I think bringing your faster units on earlier can have a benefit. In the same way, when I was playing that experimental droids, where I was running a triple droidica units,
Yeah.
yeah, if I get to bring the droidicas on last and bring them on in ball form, and I can just swamp the area I want to threaten, it's
Right.
really cool. But equally, I can just walk them in, take a dodge, and then I can move and droid form in turn two to if I've got them in the wrong place, they can
Yeah.
reposition. Whereas
Sure.
in those B2s, if I bring those in the wrong place with a range two, that's a lot of points tied up in being in the wrong place.
Right.
So it's kind of balancing out that resiliency against the ability to apply the force that you have on the table.
Sure.
A good. All right. it's no good having really good guns if you never get to shoot them.
Yep.
Oh,
I I guess I look at this from a more defensive position, so I'm looking for, okay, I need to try it. The first couple activations, I want to hide.
yeah,
I don't want them to be in line of sight. I don't want to do anything. And then later in turn one, I want activations that I can alpha strike with. So
yeah,
there's two different. I'm looking at this from Empire and Guard. And um, with Empire, I will bring in units that typically I'm doing my activation padding, and frankly, triple ATSD is my most recent experience.
yeah,
I'll be bringing out my scouts. They're going to scout 3, move, and just get somewhere in the midfield, um, out of line of sight from where you're gonna wanna come out.
so that's pretty similar to what I was talking about with the Mandalorian unit, though, right? They've
Pretty
got the
much.
good ability to get to where they need to be early. They've got the ability to move in a way that will get them into a safe position relatively deep into a table that isn't going to
Yep,
overexpose them. And then
correct.
you get the opportunity to react later to it in the game. And they
Yep,
have a good amount of firepower that you want to be able to bring to bear.
yes. Conversely, though, they are very fragile. Yes, they
Yeah,
have, like, they do not have Mando saves. Like, they have low profile, but if you misplay them, running them faster forward, then you are gonna die. But like the amount of mobility they have on that initial turn with Scout 3 really lets them get to better pieces of cover than, say,
yeah,
a stormtrooper coming out, and they just have to come out on the field, and it's like, well, rain, speed 2 from the board edge in your deployment zone, depending on the table, might have good line of sight block, may not, and so they could end up just being a target. So
yeah,
So either, my general rule of thumb is bring something really tanky or bring something that can be threatening for a later turn. Because then it kind of blocks and head zones out potential places that your opponent wants to go.
yeah.
Um,
So obviously, we spoke about prepared positions a lot in season three, and a lot of shows around like the initial rules change.
mhm.
How do you feel about the correct time to activate though? Like, if I'm playing Echo Base, for example, do I want to have my maximum unit of FD cannons, my maximum number, and just
Mm.
like dodge standby or aim standby them as early acts? Because like they're already on the table anyway, or are you saving them to be able to try and get that killer shot?
Mm. I just, I don't really, I don't think I've got enough experience to say, but my gut feeling would be one of the more threatening ones in the middle. So if you have one in the middle that is controlling a zone that your opponent wants to get to, then maybe you go early with 1 or 2 of those. But the ones on the edge, because you're gonna have, if you're all in on
Yeah.
FDs, you're gonna have a couple that are spaced out towards the edge. Maybe try and save those for later, because with a
Mm.
range 5 shot, you'll have a lot more target opportunity.
Yeah.
Whereas waiting for someone to come into standby is gonna be more problematic. I think in those cases, if I want early activations, I would be looking for like a Mark II or a vet squad that already has their dodge from being deployed, moving
Yeah.
them up, and then either taking another dodge or standby with like a Mark II, so you can extend your
Yeah.
threat range with that, cover your lanes with that, rather than the FD. But there's a case to be made for both. I just
Yeah.
don't like those early activations. I pretty much, the first half is going to be hiding. The second half is going to be trying to alpha strike something. Is my general play.
Yeah. I feel like that's a pretty valid assessment of the state of the current meta. Um, and it kind of rolls us into the next part of the conversation I wanted to touch on, which is like how the turn one feels now, how it kind of plays, and that overall, I think the game of Legion is in a much healthier, better place. I feel like I'm playing it all the way through. I do feel like turn one. has a very large impact on the game, and I don't know that it necessarily weighs the amount it should, and I don't know how you fix it, if that makes
Mm.
sense. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
even
yeah.
saying that it necessarily needs fixing in a giant way. Maybe just it needs something, but I I find that every game I've played, barring one, the
Mhm.
turn one activation for my opponent's command card has been standing orders. And considering we're in a 5-turn game now, so you're already one command card short of where we used to be,
Yep.
you then have AMG stating that obviously they want to reduce the impact of command cards on the game, so it doesn't necessarily feel like you have to play all three of them to get value from taking a piece. We want them to be more
Sure.
situational.
Yep.
So with standing orders specifically, I'm not really sure that it has that place in the game, but it did at its conception. Obviously, like standing orders, generally you might play it early if you're kind of trying to stall out because you want to get maximum value for your command cards.
Sure.
But it was always that card that, like, well, I'm down to just standing orders now because X commander died and I'd played these other cards over in that part of the game. So it's
Sure.
like, oh, I'm stuck on standing orders. Now it's like, yeah, standing orders because if I go first, I'm going to lose. So it kind
Yeah.
of doubles down on that activation. Like I'm running 10 acts at the moment with the Wookiee list because realistically, unless I spam some clones in there,
Mhm.
it's about the best I can do whilst running Yoda.
Right.
Obviously, I can make different choices. That's okay. But I feel like 10
Sure.
acts. I feel like I'm invited to play at 10 activations.
Yeah.
Generally, at 11, I don't get a pass. Right? If my opponent's playing 11, I don't get a pass.
Sure.
And then they play standing orders. So I'm then either forced to play standing orders to put it to a dice roll,
Right. Or
or
they get
I
2
can
acts after
play.
you.
Yeah,
Or if they have
and
advanced intel, they get 3, right? It's
yeah,
yeah.
I feel like standing orders doesn't have a place in the game anymore. Uh,
Mm.
the way I think I would fix it is that its place has always been that this is the only card that I have to play now because these are the standing orders. You just make it a rule, right?
Oh, interesting.
If your commanders are dead, you default to choosing a new commander and you issue standing orders, which allows you to issue one unit in order.
Right. Mm.
So you just stop playing command cards at that point. You go to you play a three. You count as playing a 3 pip, which issues one order.
Interesting.
I don't think you can leave it as a 4 pip in that instance.
Right.
But yeah, the sad thing is we know it's not going to happen because they've already spoken about how Hondo loves playing standing orders over and over again. But yeah,
Sure.
that's my controversial take for the day. Was standing orders has no place in the game and should be removed. It's toxic and makes for dull, dull openings to a game and pollutes the experience of playing Star Wars Legion. And you promised me a fight and an argument about it. And I feel like I
That's a
eloquently took
that's a
apart
s
your.
that's a strong opinion. However, you're wrong and you should feel bad because I like playing standing orders turn 1. Thank you very much.
How many
I think
activations
it's
do you
a
have in your list?
10. Thank you.
Okay.
But you do have some valid points, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't think it. I don't think it
It's
will
too ingrained
happen.
in the game. But
Yeah, I just,
it is limiting,
so
and I feel that, and I'll explain here. So usually with my my triple ATSD, yeah, I'm playing standing orders because I'm at 10 activations. I need to try and backload those first things, get my
yeah.
ATSDs out last, and just nuke something. Right? That's the general rule and play that I'm trying to go for. Switching to
So
the recon list with Vader, I very much need to play Darkness Ascends. And when I'm
Yeah.
playing Darkness Descends and then my opponent is playing Standing Orders, then it's just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, it feels bad, doesn't it? No, man.
It's
You don't
different,
get
it's different.
you get punished
Oh,
for playing
no.
with your toys. So,
Mm,
I think that any card that encourages a lazy play pattern should be changed.
mm, but I like lazy well, okay,
Uh,
I'm not gonna say it lazy. I'm going to say I
no, no,
like
I'm
the efficient
no,
play path of
no.
these are my these are the choices I make in these situations, and just, like, having that muscle memory of, okay, this is what I use in this situation to offload some of my brain power to make just better decisions in other places on in the game. That's
That's fine if you thought about doing it and added that to your list, but it's just there. You didn't
uh
you didn't make any choice to add that to your list to make your list easy to play. It's just there, and everyone
sure.
gets to do it. So what you should do, if you're and this is for everyone, right? Feel free to jump in the comments because I've drawn my line in the sand here. I've picked my side of the fence. I think I've explained why you're all terrible people. So feel free to jump in the comments and tell me. But like, look at how many times you play or have played against you standing orders turn one. What card you would have played if you couldn't play standing orders, and why that would be a more interesting game. 'Cause I think that if you take it out, games get more interesting.
You're probably right, because most of my games end up being standing orders versus standing orders on that first turn. Or
Never.
if I had to pick
I,
something else.
which so this is really ironic because
Now I'm mad.
I was team
I
Sen.
wanted to fight. I wanted to fight. I'm like, "No, standing orders is fine." And then you made a compelling argument, and now I'm mad because I
But
wanted to fight.
what I should have done is just started with standing orders need to be removed, let you tell me why I'm a crazy person, and then told you why I was right. That would have been better radio,
Yeah.
but there's no takesy backsies. Oh man.
No, it kinda goes back to some of those other things. It's like, when this is the best option you have and it is everybody's best option, yes, I could it gets stale. I get it.
Yep.
Um, however, as long as it's still an option, I'm gonna still take it as my option because it
Oh,
is the best
I'm
option.
not telling I'm not telling people to not play it. I'm telling people to tell me what they would have played if they couldn't, because obviously they just played standing orders because they have no imagination. It's fine. I love insulting
It's
our listeners. They're all
oh.
mature enough
Now hang
to
on, hang on, hang on. They're not playing standing orders because they have no imagination. They picked standing orders because it is the best option they have for that turn one. I'm sure, like, if
yeah,
there's other
they were
4 pip options,
AMG encouraged them into that lazy pattern of play. I agree.
I don't know if it's lazy as much as a conscious choice because, like, everybody could give you their reasons.
Yeah,
I
it's
think by
the
far and
best card to
away,
play.
well, I okay,
This turn's really important. This turn's
why
really
is it the
important, and
best?
I'm scared of my models dying. So I'm just gonna play this so I don't have to play the game, and you don't get to interact with me at all until I choose, and then I kill something of yours, and then we can start playing with you playing at maybe a 900 point list to my 1,000 point list. And it's just a 4 turn game. It seems fair, right? Like, why not just we both deploy armies? Whoever won the dice roll gets to remove one of my units, and
Mm,
then we'll start playing. Speeds the game up.
mm,
Play 4 turns, and like,
mm,
why even have a command card hand of 6 cards? Just pick two, and then just stand in orders the rest. It's fine.
okay.
Don't want to go first.
That last one's getting a little far afield, but I do understand what you're saying. It's just, mm, yeah,
But and remember,
if it's the best option, you just pick that.
there's no cost to it because it goes back into your hand.
Sure.
So if you need to go last later, you can just do it again. There's literally no cost to it. It's just wait, like There's no choice. There's no like by
There
playing
is a
this card,
cost.
I
There is a cost of you don't have the order control that you would by playing another card. So there is a cost, and that's not a negligible cost in some cases. With certain armies like CIS, yeah, you're gonna
or
get order control
or
anyway,
clones.
whatever. Or clones. Well, clones doesn't
There's a
have
lot of
as
directing clones now.
there's not
60
nearly as
points,
much
60
like
points for a clone commander is pretty cheap.
sure, but
And remember, it's
I
clone infantry, so you just direct it onto the arcs that you want to have, and then
I
everybody
suppose,
else
but
gets to
but
come
that
up
doesn't
because
help your
it
other
doesn't matter
that
if you
doesn't help your
pull
other
a
arcs.
clone command. And you get so you stand in orders one, you direct the other.
Okay.
So
Hang on,
maybe
hang
so then
on.
you've got one special forces left in the bag,
Okay, now
and
hang
you're
on though.
drawing and you've got an improvised orders in there as well.
Sure. I mean, you probably should. But at the same time, we were talking about units that we want to activate first, last, and otherwise.
Yeah.
If you don't have order control, you don't get to control that. You just pull what you pull, and you don't get a choice on your preference of activation. You just have to activate. That is a cost for
Okay.
trying to go
Well, I mean,
last.
it is a cost, the bargain basement, like
I,
it
th-
feels like a very good value card. Because if it wasn't, I wouldn't have had this thought of man. Everyone just plays standing orders turn one. It's weird because you don't get as many opportunities to play with cool command cards that really add theme to the commanders and make it feel like a Star Wars Legion game. You don't get as many opportunities to do that now. And people complain that games feel like could resolve quicker. So that's even less opportunities, and then you're denying yourself the opportunity to play one in turn one.
sure.
So no,
There there's a
maybe
certain
the
amount of
answer,
prisoner's dilemma of like,
yeah.
well, you're going to be playing standing orders, so I need to play standing orders to have a chance at parity and stuff like that. And ooh, I don't know.
So,
I don't know how you solve it
um,
because I don't think you get rid of the card. I mean, maybe you could put some restrictions around the card, but I don't know.
so maybe they need to do more turn one cards.
Yeah, maybe.
Give people maybe I should have a 5 pip card that gives everyone dodge tokens. Yeah, that'd make me
Mm,
feel good. Everyone gains outmaneuver, dodge, nimble, and it's a 5 pip. Play your standing orders now, losers.
yeah. Well, I mean, or more four pip cards in general, just because I don't know if it's necessarily standing orders as much as it's 4 pips trying to go second. Um,
Yeah.
we start getting into the issue that we had on going back to like X-Wing 1.0, right? It's the aces going second, seeing everything that you get to do and then going, right? It's the same
So
problem.
I do
So,
have a question for you, right? This is an interesting one. Do you just play Han in Rebels and then turn one you play Change of Plans?
you can, absolutely can, if you
No
need
standing
to,
orders for you this turn,
right?
and then because both of you switch, right?
Yes. Yeah, and you can't
So
pick standing orders
I
again.
play my standing orders. You can't pick yours.
Oh, sure. Potentially.
Ah, see how interesting is that? It's a dynamic.
Yeah. So Ahsoka has her 4 pip now. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to necessarily run that in the first one. I mean, it'll give 2 units orders, but, you know, she gets some of these other things, but you probably wanna save that card for being able to get Jarkai Mastery later. So, yeah, I guess you default back to standing orders turn 1. I don't know. It's an interesting mm. Now I'm mad for a different reason. Why are you making me think this? Why are you trying to make me agree with you? No. I'm just gonna be facetious at this point. No, standing orders is fine. Leave it alone.
We'll see. We'll see. Um, that kind of wraps us up. There's a good chance that we are going to be over on this show because I have lots of editing to do because Ayla's not very well and she was crying. So if it comes through on whichever edit I, Jill was still parenting. It's okay. She wasn't abandoned, but she was very grumpy because she had to have snot forcibly removed from her nose with one of those sucker things. It's
Yeah,
not
that's not
pleasant.
fun. No.
Yeah. So I've got lots of editing to do, but we'll try and get this one out. But it should be out in time for Tuesday, a normal release window. The article will be accompanying it as it has always been. I have a how-to video coming out for doing the magnetic storage for the useful tubs, the really useful
Oh, okay,
boxes.
cool.
I don't. Are they still? Is that the brand in the US as well? A really useful box, or is it a different brand in the US?
I have no idea what
Um,
you're talking about. So
but so
who knows?
it's the oh, sterilite tubs, the totes, where
Oh,
you put
sure. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, you put the ferrous sheets in the bottom and then magnetize your models.
Oh, okay,
So I
cool.
have a how-to video for how to make those, where I'll have links to the actual ones. I do a side-by-side comparison of using the magnetic sheets compared to a ferrous sheet, and show you why you need
Okay.
to buy the ferrous ones because magnet onto magnet doesn't have as much. It has less attraction than magnet onto ferrous because of
Interesting.
the polar interactions. I I I shake it until Bosk falls over. You'll love it. It's great.
Well, they're all right then.
It's okay. I'll just get a new Bosk when he comes out in the Bounty Hunters box.
Yeah, there you go.
Soon to be confirmed, I'm sure.
Still wish
But
listing, I see.
always. But we have there's going to be a giveaway on the Patreon. I've got one ready made with magnets to send out. So there'll be a giveaway on the Patreon for that one. I've got a I have a tote filled with prizes to give out that I've kind of finally organized. So those should start up. There'll be giveaways on YouTube, on Discord. I'm gonna try and be a real content creator, give stuff away for free at my own expense until I'm big enough to justify having done all of those things. That's how it works, right? Gotta
I
spend money to make money.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be good. I'm actually pretty excited. It was really weird being in front of cameras again, not like this, where most of the time I forget that I'm talking in front of people and I'm just talking to you.
Sure.
When it's just you and a camera, ooh, that's
It's a
a
different dynamic, huh?
it's a different game to play. But I
Sure.
managed to set up 3 cameras in the dining room. It's a very tight fit. Um, but yeah, it's been interesting. I'll be at UK Games Expo this coming week. Hopefully,
Nice.
gonna get to chat to Shik from AMG again. So I've submitted some questions. We'll see how that goes. I did get turned down for my press pass, though. So you
Ah,
guys need to like, comment, subscribe, and boost those numbers so that next year they don't look at me derisively and turn me away again. Oh,
oh
big
boy.
sad. Yeah. Um, but yeah, let me know what kind of content you guys want to see. Because I've got a bunch of unboxing, a bunch of Legion units to unbox that I picked up at Adepticon that I still haven't
Mhm.
opened yet. Because I'm like, I'm going to record this. I'm like, oh, they're old units now. So I'm kind of back and forth on whether to do it or not. But I feel like just do not go, to go through emotions as much as to refresh that skill, stretch those muscles. So I'm trying to write reviews, and I've been trying to do a different piece of content each week. So I did that an
Sure.
op-ed. I've done a
Yep.
review. I've done an opinion piece, and
Yep.
trying to balance all those different skills has been really interesting. It's been fun. I'm enjoying myself anyway. So
Good. Good,
hopefully
good.
people are coming along for the ride. But yeah.
And I need you guys to come hang out in our Discord and comment and back me up that standing orders is fine. Fine, leave it alone. Kris is wrong.
No, no.
I'm not out of
In
touch. I'm not out of touch. Kris is wrong.
Yeah, it's the kids that are wrong. I mean, that is a genuine opportunity that I am wrong. As I said, maybe we're both right in different ways. We'll see. We'll
Charitable.
see.
I guess we'll find
I'll
out.
Yeah, I'll be sure not to choke upon my aspirations.
Not this time.
Oh man, we've got a bunch of new credit quotes to get in as well.
Oh,
It'd be great.
I finally started. I made time. I'm like, all right, we're starting Andor season 2, and yes.
What I need to do is
Oh
kind of
boy.
I need to walk. I need to edit this finger to be behind your head. If I kind of get it out of the shot, I can have my Krennic finger on the back of your head as if I'm interrogating you in an ISP prison cell.
Spoilers, I haven't got to that part yet.
Oh
I've
man,
only seen episode 1. I gotta
only
catch
seen
up. I
episode
gotta
one.
catch up.
Oh, you do. I mean, that's fine. Krennic's all happy in that one. Oh,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For the most part.
I've been. So they were coming out at 2 a.m. I think. I was basically watching them really late at night because I tried watching
Yeah.
the first block of 3 with Jill, and she wasn't that bothered. So I was like, "No, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna not watch them and get it ruined for me. I want to be the one
Yeah.
ruin it for Alan."
Ah,
Oh,
and you did.
yeah,
Dang it. I've been
yeah.
really good
There's a finger on someone's
not
head.
seeing. I've been really good at not seeing any of the spoilers. That TIE fighter was really cool. Freaking
Yeah.
minigun lasers.
TIE Avenger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was real spicy.
Okay, let's wrap this
Now I'm
up
sad I won't
before
come to
we.
X-Wing.
It might do. Might do.
Oh, X-Wing could come back. Could come back. All right.
Starfighter. Starfighter miniature game.
Oh, yeah.
Should should read the article. I'll link it below.
Uh, I did. I did.
There you go. That was a well-written opinion piece.
Sure
That was
was.
my op-ed on
Yeah.
why this thing should happen. It was
Yep.
I was a fan of my own work, and that is something
Ah.
I'm very rarely will I say that about my own work. But genuinely, I was pretty proud of that piece. What was even more rewarding was it got a bunch of traction. Keep it
Well,
going,
with
folks,
that.
because if you don't, I'll deploy the garrison. There we go. I don't know why I'm looking at you instead of listeners. It's okay, because all of this is going to be covered by the end screen anyway now, and you can't see. Bye,
Haha.
folks.